Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
That'll kill about 2 minutes.
I think the show's on.
The show is definitely on. What's going on, everybody? J10 filling in here for Daria Baronato, hosting here, and I'm sitting here with George Hermoza. We gotta kick that to make sure that the nickname sticks. I'm gonna work on that one, Horge.
Thanks, hey.
Jay, hey.
Yeah.
You are, of course, tuned in here watching the Ultimate Fighter after show on AFTERBUZZ.TV. This is going to be the snake bit episode, if you will, or AKA Two Broke Guys, covering an all women's Ultimate Fighter episode. We had a stellar lineup packed. Obviously, Daria Baronato is not on the show this weekend, or this week rather. Alexis,
I think she's occupied right now.
Oh, certainly is occupied. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, they're all occupied. Otherwise, they would be here, right?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say Alexis is occupied.
Alexis is occupied with sickness. Yeah. Hope she's feeling better there. And we had Carla Esparza scheduled for to be a guest in here. Unfortunately, some scheduling issues came up, and hopefully we'll book her again in the future. And we even had a potential new co-host, Suri, right? Who is going to come through? Hopefully, yet another female to the Ultimate Fighter cast.
Thank God. And it's funny. I'm not usually the best-looking person on this panel, but today I am.
Dude, I'm here.
Tied for second.
Damn it!
Yeah, you guys are both tied for second. Thank you.
Oh,
so
my time.
Episode 3, called "Don't Fight Fate." I don't know what we're gonna make of that one.
Maybe we'll figure it out as the show goes along. We'll be like, oh, light bulb.
I'm thinking that possibly, yeah. So the match itself, we'll cut to the chase. Begin at the end, shall we?
We're gonna, I love Tarantino. We're gonna give you the ending first.
The Pulp Fiction episode, right?
And then go back.
Okay.
And it's all gonna tie in together.
Where was it? Lisa Ellis and Jessica Penne. This was the third match of the tournament. Let's see which brackets they were. They were in the...
I think they were on the
lower left
of the bottom.
That's right. Jessica Penne ranked number 4 in the tournament. Lisa Ellis ranked number 13. Lisa, super experienced, and Jessica Penne has been on a roll.
I mean, it's their second time fighting it against each other.
Yes, this was a rematch from
no strangers
from 2012, I believe it was.
It was at the first Invicta show.
Yep, in which Jessica Penne worked. She worked out.
She beat up.
She worked out a TKO win in the 3rd round. Did you see that match?
I have. I've been wanting to watch it because I've heard it was pretty brutal and pretty bloody.
It was.
I think you talked about it last week, where it wasn't as decisive or as dominant, but it still was pretty.
Yeah, I thought it was reasonably close in terms of going into the 3rd round. You know, each had won a round. But once Jessica opened up, Lisa, the blood was gushing, and that was something. Something even me and my ironclad stomach got a little queasy watching there. But Lisa comes from Olympia, Washington, 15-8. She's been around for quite a long time. Her husband, Eddie Ellis, she was previously Lisa Ward. Her husband, Eddie Ellis, is a fighter as well.
Ultimate Fighter alumni.
That's right. Season 16, was it?
I want to say 16, yeah.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I know I had it written down. But then I washed my hand.
Computers,
I wrote it down on my...
no iPads, no nothing. We are winging it. Just old school paper, okay?
I got nothing. I got a rubber band scrunchie
Two Broke
that I
Guys,
found.
paper, and a scrunchie from... Thank you. That's right.
What I found that I'm playing with.
All right, guys. And on the opposite side of the cage, of the octagon, Jessica Penne, 11-2, hailing from Huntington Beach. And George has a fly joining him.
Bad girl. You can say.
Yeah, I suppose you could possibly
she looks
say
pretty
that.
mean. I don't know about you, but
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna challenge her there. Training out of Rain MMA, Kings MMA, and Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu. She's a kickboxer, the BJJ brown belt. You know, very well. I wonder if she's got black by now.
I'm sure.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, you can definitely tell that she's gotten a lot better on the groundwork from last night's fight.
Yeah. The match itself went. Let's see, it was a bit quicker. The essentially the same result. Jessica Penne won.
Just a little bit sooner, yeah.
Yeah, with a rather than TKO, a submission, rear naked choke in the first round.
Unsurprising, but we can get into that probably right now. Just kind of
our producer Monkey is getting a little bit crazy with the effects here, but it's going to be one of those shows.
Keep it going, Steven.
Oh boy, here we go.
Keep it going. I like it, but yeah, leading up to it, no surprise that Lisa Ellis lost the way she did, because just throughout the entire episode, you can kind of see, if anything, it's not just being a woman missing her child, because if you really think, any fan of the Ultimate Fighter, it's been pretty much every season has had guys, with one season having girls and guys.
Every fan, you mean every fighter in the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much every season, if not maybe every 2 seasons, there's always that one person, mostly a guy, kind of having the homesickness. Yeah, I had just have a child. I miss my. So it's not just being a woman. It's not. Yes, she's a mother. Yes, her kid's like 1, but it's not just about being a man or a woman. It's about being a parent. And so every season you have or every 2 seasons you have your one fighter. Oh, you know, their mind is totally elsewhere. Yeah, this season belonged to Lisa Ellis. Right. So you can kind of see it. Definitely breaking down almost every and maybe a lot had to do with editing, but pretty much
that was an ongoing theme, really, for her in her at least as the show presented. That was her hump to get over, and you know, at least in the cage, didn't quite happen. She, you know, there's that. She has a 1-year-old daughter, at least at the time was 1, maybe 1.5 by now, but yeah, definitely. I would think for a woman, it's a bit more that separation. I don't know when exactly it's supposed to happen in terms of the natural progression of what after, like when women talk about, or people talk about postpartum depression and then having to have the kids sleep in another room and stuff. So, you know, presumably it had been a year since the kid was born that she went into the house. In fact, this fight was her first fight after having the child. Was it, maybe that was a 2-year layoff? No, that would be. Yeah, it was a 2-year layoff.
And then she got pregnant.
Yeah, so there's 9 months there.
A year.
Yeah, 9 months and then the year. Yeah. So I could understand it being a little bit more of an issue, but at the same time, yeah, when you're a parent and you're missing your kids, then that's I'm sure that goes across the board.
I do like the honesty of Gilbert Melendez, because typically coaches are like, oh yeah, my guys are ready. You know, they're gonna beat up your guys, or in this case, girls. But he was typically a lot more honest than maybe most people would have liked him to be. It's like, yeah, I don't think she's all there.
Right.
If you kind of, whenever they did show Gilbert Melendez, who was Lisa Ellis's coach, you know, I can tell her mind's not all there. You know, you can tell she's having, you know, other thoughts, and it definitely showed during that fight. I don't really think she had much offense. If anything, she tried a couple takedowns, but quickly, easily, might I say, Jessica Penne, pretty much reversing it and eventually getting her back.
There's a lot of clinch work. The notes here, my notes at least, I have that Lisa was going for the takedown early. You know, she charged in, but and really stuck with that single. Tried to run the pipe and, you know, drag the leg down, but Jessica was able to reverse it, and she had clinch against the cage and landed a lot of knees. It really was, Jessica really did control that fight. Like, she won that round. Whereas the first, the Invicta fight, again, I'd say I had it going 1-1 into it. Lisa was more aggressive during that match, I thought, and certainly more effective as well. And you know, off a scramble, they eventually did get to the ground, and off a scramble, I wish I could have remembered the full sequence better. I'm still learning the colors, to be quite honest. Only third
I think
episode.
We talked about last week where it was like, do these colors have to be so close together?
Yeah.
Usually the opposing coaches is like yellow and then like it's like green or black.
Lakers colors and Knicks colors,
pretty
right?
Much, yeah. But now it's like neon green and neon light green. Yeah. It's like, come on, guys.
Frankly, it looks better. I like the color scheme, but it makes it a lot harder to watch and decipher them in an MMA fight if you're not very familiar with their ink and bodies and faces. So then off the scramble, though, I believe One of them went for a triangle, but it reversed pretty quickly, and then Jessica Penne got Lisa's back and rode that for a little while, and eventually got the rear naked choke and finished her at 346 in the first round.
I'm kind of curious where Lisa Ellis goes from here, and it's funny because I keep forgetting they're still UFC fighters. They're not still trying to get a contract. They're still UFC fighters, so they're still probably going to be scheduled a few more fights. So it should be different. It should be weird how or interesting, might I say, just how she progresses. You know, it's going to be a little bit different because now she's not going to be secluded in Vegas. Now she's going to be able to go home. I'm sure she's home right now with her child, but I'm sure maybe training for an upcoming fight. But at least she'll be able to maybe go home every night and tuck her child in.
She'll be in a better place mentally, and I'm sure, you know, when you marry your coach, obviously there's a very strong bond there. Probably stronger than it was with Gil Melendez. Just going out on a whim there.
Yeah, I agree. But Anthony Pettis 3-0 now.
Yeah. Anthony Pettis is running it right now, and
probably gonna be 4-0.
Could be
after next week. I mean, Carlos Esparza, the #1 seed, going up against the number 16 seed. Angela Hill.
I think, you know, we've already seen one upset, and as we discussed, was it a week or two ago, that the bracket or the skill differential between 1 and 16 or 2 and 15, whatever, is probably closer than it is for a typical men's weight class.
Like if it was me, I would love to be in that bottom seed, just because maybe the expectations are low, but at the same time, it's like I know that I'm really a lot better than you guys think I am.
Yeah.
So if it's one of those things where if I'm the #1 seed, I'm expected to beat the number 16 seed. It's kind of like, okay, whatever, that's supposed to happen. But if you do something that isn't really according to the plan, I think people are going to remember a lot more. Wow, Angela Hill just beat the #1 seed. Angela Hill just beat the Invicta champion. A lot more people are going to be talking about Angela Hill as opposed to the other way around.
You have nothing to lose when you're on the bottom.
Especially when you're still a UFC fighter. So not only can you potentially lose or win, but you still got a contract. So
I would think at the very minimum you'll see these girls fighting on the finale or booked on a couple of shows, fight nights
around that time,
or pay-per-views. But that said, who knows how many shots they're going to have. But I agree with you that Lisa Ellis will be in a better place mentally because she'll be closer to home. It's her regular fight team, and certainly see her baby, see her husband that much more. You know, probably. I still believe in the women that have fought. We have a couple of these that have very high records, like Lisa, Angela Magana, cumulatively is 11-6. Who else? Well, Jessica Penne. I mean, her record speaks for itself. Ash Daly has been around for quite a while. I still believe that there is more for them to show. And yeah, it'll be fun to watch them as once this season is over, see how they perform.
Can we talk about what happened before the fight?
Of course we can. What, the weigh-ins?
No, just in general.
Weigh-ins happened.
I mean,
well, we're doing the Pulp Fiction thing. We're working backwards.
Okay.
We even started with the Invicta fight, and then we talked about this tough fight. So we're going way back.
Now we need to go to the beginning.
Yes.
And then back to the end, and then the middle.
Right. Okay. We're jumping around.
Yeah, just, a la Tarantino.
As we discussed, the show, very much one of the themes of the show was Lisa dealing with missing her family. And at one point, and I'm jumping a bit to the middle, but that there was this blanket that they cut to, a blanket of her baby in her first, I guess her first birthday. She called it a birthday smash, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. And so it's a 1-year-old kid, guys, with it was a picture of a baby, photograph, on a blanket somehow. I don't know how they put that on. Didn't look like iron-on transfer or whatever, but it was very detailed. Too detailed, in fact, because the cake, I think, probably was
like a white, strawberry or cherry cake or whatever.
And so the icing and stuff was red. Red here, red on the hands. And so you've got this quick shot of this kid going kind of crazy on a cake, but you couldn't quite see the cake. And it's laying on a blanket. So you've got this giant picture of this baby in red covered all over it going,
Yeah, I had to do like a quadruple take as well. We're like,
a little bit freaky there. Yeah.
That baby just beat up another baby or something?
It's probably really cute and adoring in real life. And Lisa, nothing against your kid, nothing against mementos. all for it. But yeah, that camera shot that they caught there, little bit.
Looked like that baby just put a beat down on another baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lisa didn't win her fight, but maybe the baby did against the cake.
Against the cake,
right?
Exactly.
Man, that fly is really loving you.
Yeah, I know.
Guest starring the fly. You've got this this little Jeff Goldblum thing going around George. For those of you listening on iTunes, you can't see it, but take my word. And now he's surfing the wave of George's hair.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
You'll get it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
We don't have a guest.
Production Monkey Steve just brought in one of these electric tennis racket things. And
I'll find it.
oh, man, you guys, you really got to go to YouTube. He's right behind you. He's right beside.
Oh, it's on your side.
He's not going to like me. I'm just nothing but Diet Coke and cough drops over on this side. This is going to get so many YouTube clips just for you sitting here doing this whole sport. He's right on top of you. Back of your head. Back of your head.
Big man, George Hermoza against the fly. 1, 2, 3. It's coming behind him.
He's on the front, on the tuft.
It's on the tuft. It's on the tuft. It's on the front. It's on the front. Where's it going to go? Bang your head. Bang your head.
Did you get?
And the fly wins.
For now. Round 1. Fly. George is looking for a corpse here on the ground.
And now, back to your scheduled programming.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
All right. Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Touch it. I don't know why you would do that. Just go for it. You're so scared. He is not touching. Oh! Whoa, that was cool.
All right, guys, let's get back to Ultimate Fighter.
No, let's touch stuff with this thing. Oh, that zap was great, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're going to get some YouTube hits off of this one, dude. Good work, man.
I'll hold on to this just in case.
Nicely done.
So nobody likes Heather, apparently.
There's that as well, right?
You know who else doesn't? I'm sure you watch the show, but Daria doesn't like Heather either. Ow.
Well, Daria is going to have to deal with that when Heather comes on the show.
She was just like, when she comes in, she was...
You're more than welcome, darling. Heather, come on through.
When we were watching the show, she's like, I don't... You know, of course, typical Daria, New Jersey accent. I don't know what it is. I don't like that girl, man. I don't like her. I'm like, dude, just give her
Heather
a
Jo
chance
Clark,
or something.
Who is ranked, let's see, number 11, Hurricane Jo Clark. She's training in Las Vegas, last I heard at least, with Syndicate MMA, 6-4, originally from LA, former pro hockey player. She's been around for quite a while as well. And this is the second week that we've seen this recurring theme of Heather. Some people would say, it seems from the rest of the girls, trying too hard, perhaps, trying to be a bit too much to be the alpha female, if you will, and it just seems to be kind of backfiring on her. You know, personally, I'm kind of sympathetic to that. I feel badly because clearly, I think she has the best of intentions.
Yeah, it's not like she's trying to be mischievous or trying to undercut people as well, because we've seen that plenty of times in other shows, other Ultimate Fighters, everything. But yeah, it's not like she's doing anything bad. I mean, it just kind of sucks how everybody looks at that as being annoying. But yet, if she was like, you know, being bitchy, you know, it's like, oh, well, now she's being a bitch. It's like, oh, come on. I mean, maybe that's just women.
You can't win for losing.
Maybe that's
not just women. I mean, that's... I'm sure we have our own version of that as well, but especially emphatic when you're talking about, 16 girls and women in one house.
I agree.
Excuse me. But hopefully, you never know. Situations like that, I feel like in certain reality shows, they'll lay the seeds, you know, of a character going in a certain direction, and then suddenly something changes for the better. But yeah, she's a bit too inclusive, it seems, not quite realizing yet that this is a single elimination tournament and everyone's trying to get... I mean, obviously she knows that. Yeah. But, well, you know what? Maybe they needed that character, and so that's how she's being portrayed, you know?
I'm a little upset, though. I was watching the whole episode yesterday and a little bit today. Yeah. Not a single... I don't even think they showed once...
Who's that?
My girl, Joanne Calderwood.
No, JoJo got the week off, I believe. You're right.
Not even like a tiny a clip or like a soundbite. Nothing.
Maybe she didn't do too much in practice or anything there.
She did enough last week. I mean, she's just so cute.
She absolutely is. But we're going to see more of her. Keep in mind, she's won her match. Yeah. Okay. Now the other stars that they're building up clearly, Rose and Felice, have not fought yet. Yeah. So those seeds, they're kind of. I'd like to think sparsing them out. Maybe JoJo had nothing to say about this match.
Whatever
you know?
she said, I just want her to talk. Come on.
You like the accent.
The whole like, oh, I'm going to build a little carrot cake after I beat her. I mean, come on. Did you not like, oh, that's precious.
You know what, though? In retrospect, I'm looking at our list of teams, and it was, I think it was a Team Melendez heavy episode because of Lisa and because of my favorite recurring part of the show, which is the Wall of Panties. The Wall of Panties. Yep, they got some play this week as well. When Angela Hill and I believe it was Lisa, I
think so too.
Yeah, decided to put on Team Melendez. Actually, Team Pettis has the granny panty or has the panties wall, and so those two ladies decided to grab a big set of granny panties and walk them in. Each women, Lisa in one leg and Angela in the other leg together. So like that, like a Laurel and Hardy or the Monkees, kind of like the Monkees do, but just two.
It looked like my Aunt Bertha's pair of panties.
Aunt Bertha?
I'm trying to say, yeah. Don't ask me how. I know that.
I wouldn't have figured you having an Aunt Bertha.
We all have that Aunt Bertha.
Well, that went up, the Team Melendez contribution to the Team Pettis Wall of Panties.
But then they saw it.
Yep, and then Felice saw it and
put it on. No, Jessica. Jessica was the one that grabbed them and then stretched
Felice
them
was
on,
very. You know what? I mean, talk about.
Dude, I want to
talk
see
about
her
being
be
a general about
dude.
things. You know, Felice is she's a stickler for this panty wall thing.
So I want to see her be a badass. I've heard her.
Did I just get the fly?
On you.
I got the fly.
Yeah.
Give me the thing. I don't. Ooh, I could swear I felt him on the forehead too. How does this thing work?
You press the button.
Press it, and then it's.
And then you touch it to make sure it's on, and it's on your shirt.
That's not gonna happen. Oh, I did. There he is. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna stay here like Conan the Barbarian. And now he's back to you. I just saw him behind you. Here.
Anyways, yeah, I've heard a reputation of Felice being that's back to you. Felice being a badass, and it's like
maybe we have two flies in here.
I don't know.
No, right there, right in front of your skull. This is gonna.
I'm just gonna close my eyes. If I close my eyes, I won't see it.
You know what? Maybe it's a female fly. Could be a female housefly. Could be Gina Davis's kid instead of Jeff Goldblum.
Gina Davis?
Yeah, The Fly. You remember that one? 1986?
No. I remember her from A League of Their Own.
That was before. I bet that was before your time, wasn't
it?
The
Rockford Peaches?
No. Was the Fly before your time?
No, Rockford Peaches was A League of Their Own.
Yeah. But The Fly came out in 1986. It was a remake from an older Vincent Price film. No?
Where's the sound effect that says, I have no idea what he's talking about?
Help me, help. Oh, you almost got him.
Our systems detect that a host has wandered off the subject.
Yeah, but we're bringing it back to Bacon here. Kevin Bacon, by the way. So, see, Hollywood, The Fly.
What I was saying is I want to see more of Felice Herring being a badass. I keep hearing all these things that she's a horrible person, but it's like she's so tame on the show.
We're 3 episodes in, and we've got 10 to go.
And I think I said something where, like, I remember while reading Dana's tweet or something like that when they were taping it, saying that there was already drama within the first.
That's right.
First day.
Yeah.
Where was the drama?
It's a good question.
Come on, man.
Maybe they're saving it for later. It happened on the first day, and they'll
I don't know.
build it to episode 7.
I'm very upset at the editing.
Well, I don't know what to tell you there, man. You're in it for the full ride here.
Oof.
However, the downside, the one sad point of the episode, really it opened the show, sadly enough, and it kind of jumped into it. Dana White walks into the dressing room, the training room, looks for Beck Rawlings, who's our New Zealand or Australia? I should have it memorized here. Tasmania, Australia. It's one of our imports from down under, and he brings Beck into his office and gives her the news that unfortunately her stepfather died. Apparently, I think she was close. Her mom had called and reported that her stepfather died, and she just lost it right there on the spot. And I don't know about you, but that's one of those things that gets to me. In the fight world, you know, we joke a lot, and there's a lot of fun in fighting, but you know, when it comes to what gets fighters, what pushes their buttons, I think more than anything else, if we did a survey, one of the top things is losing a parent. I think that's probably the case for just about anybody, but especially when you're under that pressure cooker and this is what you do to express yourself. To lose a parent, especially one that has been supportive, as it sounds like her stepdad and mother were.
I think it was really cool how I think the next day, I think Team Melendez, along with Jake Shields, who actually lost a pair, was it like a week before one of his fights?
Yeah, in 2012,
right
Shields.
Jake Ellenberger, he was supposed to fight. And then, like a week before, he just passed away.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows what she's going through, it's Jake Shields, who's one of Melendez's assistant coaches. They trained together. But yeah, I think it was super cool how they just kind of
showed up with some flowers and stuff. It was a nice thing, and the team was it her team? Like right when Team Melendez did that little prayer on behalf of her stepdad in the locker room. You know what struck me funny? What do you think? It struck me funny that in a previous season we saw, I believe it was Michael Chiesa, lost his dad. And he was given the opportunity to fly back for the funeral. She was not. Then again, she lives in Australia.
That's true.
I wonder why the difference there, and if it was just because of Australia and the time difference, and she'd be gone for too long.
If I recall, the Michael Chiesa one was the live one. So
was it?
Yeah. So if anything, they fought every Friday.
Yeah.
So there was kind of like, I think they just taped it. The show was taped longer as opposed to this one. I think everything. I mean, how often do they fight? Do they have a fight on these taped episodes? Every 3-4 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I just think that she didn't have enough time. I think they probably would have, but considering how close the fights are, I don't think she would have enough time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was there's things like that need to be in the show. It can't all be zany antics and
it's real
smackdowns. Yeah.
I mean, I like Ultimate Fighter not just because it's an MMA, but I mean, I don't know, but it just feels like it's a lot more quote unquote real than a lot of those other reality shows. Because it's not. I mean, you know what it is. They're not trying. Everybody is in the house to gain a contract or to be the champion in this case. It's not like these other reality shows where they're just kind of,
you're winning something, you're winning a cash prize or something or other, and then it's based on a certain storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
This is based on a sport accomplishment.
Yeah, exactly, and exactly what you said. Other things, it's like they kind of create, and I've worked in reality TV before, where they create scenarios, and then they expect certain people to react upon those scenarios. And this is just straight up, you all live in a house, you guys fight, that's it. So I like the fact that this is a little bit more real in that aspect. I'm sure maybe other things are still kind of scripted, but not as much scripted as maybe some of the other reality TV shows, There's a certain limit to what you can fabricate on this show, whereas in other ones, there's a lot more leeway that you can viably do. That's what I do like about Ultimate Fighter. I've always liked that about Ultimate Fighter. It's just straight up. There's no, like, what is really their script, What
do you think is, or what do you remember of what you think was the most fabricated angles or storylines on Tough, either previously or of this one, what little we've seen so far?
It's funny because I would have thought that the Ronda Rousey one with her and Misha Tate kind of going on back and forth on their feud, but kind of...
But boy, was that real.
That's really her. There was really no fabricating that, but I thought a lot of that was promoting the fight coming up, but no, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So at that time, thinking that, especially with the way Misha Tate kind of came on the show, I was like, oh, well, that's obvious, but turns out that just the way it is. But I think
that's a great case in point there. Yeah, like that could have worked out. That worked out perfectly for Tough, but it wasn't a storyline manipulation that actually happened. Kat Zingano was supposed to be the coach against Ronda Rousey, and she got injured and therefore had to pull out of the whole thing. And in walked in Misha, which obviously is promoting stroke of genius. That's the logical step that you want to do. Yeah. And that's not based on fabrication. That actually happened. It just luck of the draw, as it were. Good or bad, depending on whether you're Kat or Misha.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, that's a good thing about Tough is there isn't that many things that you can honestly pinpoint and say, oh, that's fabricated, obviously. Because really, what is really there to fabricate?
Yeah. You're basing the whole thing on, well, editing, as you said earlier, and also hoping that some personalities will amplify themselves a little bit.
I agree.
And I think that's the case with Felice, and I don't think that anybody is... Nobody would shy away from that, including her.
I mean, a lot of it, too, is especially with going back to that live Ultimate Fighter, is that they didn't know what to expect. So, for example, they shot the show during the week. They fought live on Fridays, and they shot the show. So it's kind of like you can't really preview the upcoming episodes because they don't know what's going to happen. So in turn, I think it was a little bit boring. But at least with these, taped episodes, it's like they know what's going on, and they know what to accentuate as far as this is going to bring ratings. This is going to get people talking. Yeah. So I think in the form of not so much fabricating, but in the form of editing, I think that's where
you do need a little bit more control of that. Whereas something like pro wrestling, for example, it's far off cousin to MMA. You can control that because you're pre-scripting everything, or at least predetermined endings and stuff. There's at least a little bit of control, but not to the same extent as wrestling. So, given all of that, there's a little bit more. The drama hasn't picked up quite yet. Again, we've got the seeds, I think, a little bit with
week 3
with Heather. Yeah, week 3, but that's what are we about a third? There's a 13-week season that includes the finale, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 first rounds. Then the next one has 4, then 2.
Yeah, 8, 4, and 2 is 13.
I mean, we might see in the future, and we've seen it in the past where you have one episode with 2 fights. So
that's true. Yeah, yeah. The semifinals usually start doing 2 fights. So, all right.
So next week we got Carla Esparza versus Angela Hill. You think Carla's going to take it?
Yeah. My money would be on Carla, but I do think that there is a good chance of it being a much more competitive fight.
I was going to say the same thing. I think it's going to be very competitive, but Carla
taking nothing away from Carla, but certainly giving Angela her due as well. People don't realize. Let's talk about her background here. I'm reading off notes. She's 1-0 in MMA, originally from Brooklyn, but I believe she said in the show she's living in North Carolina. Trained with a group called Evolution Muay Thai. She is 14-0 as an amateur and 2-0 as a pro in MMA. No, I'm sorry, Muay Thai. That's her Muay Thai stats. So, girl has been in the cage. Yeah, she has thrown some and taken some and come out on top each time.
I mean, don't get it twisted. She's ranked 16, but it may be 16 maybe because they don't really know her that well.
I was going to say, I think it's based primarily on MMA record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course she's going to be the 16th ranked. That doesn't mean she's the 16th best fighter in the house.
Correct.
She might be 3rd, or
we've already seen that.
Maybe even 1.
Yeah, we've already seen that with Randa Marcos. Yeah,
that should be interesting.
Yeah. It's we're talking about a striker versus a wrestler there. Cookie Monster Esparza coming with high school and college wrestling background. First Invicta strawweight champion. Actually, first and reigning champion, right? Yeah. So that we've got that to look forward to. What else? What do you think, man? What's your thoughts on Pettis versus Melendez? Have you put more thought into that? Because I'm still on the fence. It's just so damn ridiculously cless. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end,
I'm still on the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, Pettis, they're both just so good. Melendez, well, they both haven't fought in a while. When was the last time Pettis fought?
It was Ben Henderson. It was Ben Henderson.
A year ago.
And then he had surgery.
That was a year ago. Yeah, so Melendez last fought last.
But wasn't it earlier this year? Like February or so?
No.
Was it last year?
Him and Hendo was like last September, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then Melendez last fought against Diego Sanchez back in November. No, October. It was October
of last year.
Yeah.
So it'll be a year for the both of them. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, none of them. They both not that they automatically have the cage rust, but
whoever's the less rusty guy.
Yeah, but they're usually with these 2 guys. It really, I don't think has much to do with it.
Yeah. I don't think rust is going to be a thing for either of them being at the top of the game at 155.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because Pettis they've both been scheduled, I think. But then because of injuries, I think it was at one point, wasn't it Pettis against Aldo? No. It was Pettis Aldo before
there was talk of that super fight of Jose Aldo coming up.
But then Aldo got hurt.
Was it really scheduled?
Yeah, but I think that's...
No.
But then they put Pettis against Henderson. No, Pettis got hurt.
Because Aldo's the current reigning champ. They've never booked the super fight.
No, they have.
No, they didn't.
Last year.
Really?
Yeah, then Pettis got hurt.
Contractually, or it was? I remember it being discussed, but I don't think it was pen to paper.
I think it was official, and then one of them got hurt, and then they put Pettis in that lightweight championship.
Was that when Aldo got hurt on the moped?
Probably.
That was around last year, this summer, I think, about a year ago. But I don't remember that getting booked because I don't know why you would necessarily do that champion versus champion.
But I think it was before Pettis was champion.
Oh, okay. Wow, so Pettis was going to go down in 45? Mm-hmm. Man, your memory. That doesn't sound familiar to me at all, but geez, there is so much to cover and to remember in this sport. But you know, 6 months ago is a lifetime ago. I mean,
Pettis
MMA,
is just
right?
so exciting to watch. So is Melendez, though. I
Yeah.
mean, Melendez is so calculated, but so is Pettis. Like, I think there couldn't be an more evenly matched lightweight matchup.
Agreed.
And then just by itself, it's already for the title.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. I really don't know. I think as time goes on, I'll be even more torn. That says a lot because I don't even know who's going to win right now. So
You've also got Nate Diaz and Rafael Dos Anjos.
they just announced that too.
That just got announced. Yeah, Rafael Dos Anjos, number 2 ranked?
Maybe
at
number 2 or
155?
number 3.
He's up there.
Well, 1 is Melendez.
Yeah.
2,
I think that would be Rafael Dos Anjos.
he might be 3. I'm sure there's a 2, but if there is, he's slipping my mind. Because Benson was 2.
Not Nurmagomedov, right?
No, he'd be 3.
This is when we need our computers and our iPads.
But
again, it's just paper and 2 guys talking, maybe a little bit of pen.
But if
and some
anything,
lubricant.
There's
for the throat, that is.
There's a fight this weekend that is really going to change that lightweight landscape. Eddie Alvarez, Donald Cerrone.
Oh my, yes indeed.
That fight. I mean, Donald Cerrone's up there too. So for Eddie Alvarez to have his first UFC fight and already put him up against Donald Cerrone, but it's not a rookie. He's not a rookie either. It's not like Eddie Alvarez is coming from nowhere. That guy has been one of the top 5 lightweights in the past 5 years. So
Eddie Alvarez comes in very celebrated and a hot commodity.
He's been one.
The UFC was close to signing him previously, and of course he was with Bellator, reigning champion, 2-time champion. And, and I was just going to speak, too, as well, in talking about the lightweight neighborhood with Gil and Pettis. You've also got guys that have been through wars with, they have their own rivals previously. Gil Melendez went through 3 rounds with Josh Thompson. Yeah, a trilogy. Well, yeah, excuse me. It was three matches. Yeah. 2 of them, I think, were 5 rounds, all 5, or all 3 of them were 5 rounds.
Might be 2 of them, but maybe 3.
Yeah, to me, still one of the most compelling trilogies. When you talk about great trilogies, okay, guys, here's your homework. Gilbert Melendez and Josh Thompson fought 2 times, 3 times. Well, in Strikeforce, 3 times in Strikeforce. Fantastic matches, back and forth. They were friends. That was the added twist to the whole thing. Good friends that respected each other enough that they were willing to fight each other. Josh, at the time, I believe, was Strikeforce lightweight champion. Gil was working his way up and earned a title shot. Josh gave it to him and won. Correct? Or did Gil beat him?
I think they're 2-1.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they must be because it was 3 matches. But the title flip flopped.
1, like Maynard and Edgar.
Yeah.
Oh, Edgar's fighting Cub Swanson.
Oh, is that official now? Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. When's that booked?
December.
I don't remember that.
November, December.
Good.
It just got booked.
Right. But anyway, Gilbert Melendez, Josh Thompson, go out and try and find it. You know that you can get it on Fight Pass for $9.99. And then also
Anthony Pettis
and Benson Henderson.
That's 2, but
that's only 2 matches.
That first WEC fight, though,
I was at that fight.
A lot of people thought that was fight of the year.
But
definitely there was a move.
Yeah, the Showtime kick
that I'm sure everybody has seen. If you haven't seen, then you're missing out.
Yeah,
that is probably the move of the year, the decade, the century.
2 matches between Anthony Pettis and Benson Henderson. The first meeting was Ben Henderson defending his belt in the very last. WEC. Correct me if I'm wrong. The very last match of the very last WEC, right? It was in Arizona.
WEC lightweight.
Yeah, I got to be there for that one, and oh god, the crowd was nuts at that point. WEC really, I wouldn't say it was a cult following, but they were bought by the UFC and kept around as a place, a platform for the lighter weight guys, 135, 145, 155. And Ben Henderson was defending his belt against Anthony Pettis. And again, if you haven't seen the Showtime kick, it's funny. I'd venture to say that a lot of people don't remember. Casual fans wouldn't know what the Showtime kick is. Just YouTube that, Showtime kick. And it's one of the most memorable points in MMA history, I'd say, globally.
I wish it would have knocked him out, though. Like if that was the move that knocked him out.
If that did, you're right.
It knocked him down, but it didn't knock him out. He got back up, but
I think it was close to a knockout, knockdown. Like he went down flat there, and it looked like his body went limp. He was able to recover fast enough.
Was he called Showtime before that kick? Or?
Yep.
So he's always.
And that's why they called it the Showtime kick. Yeah. And then afterwards, jump ahead, what, 2 years or so? I think.
Yeah, that was 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Are we getting the music already? Wow. Well, I wanted to say here. Oh, I heard the music. Maybe they're queuing it up. But at any rate,
well, don't tell them now. I got another hour.
You've got another hour?
Yeah, I got another hour in me.
To talk? Yeah. Okay, I believe it. Oh! Look, there is a rematch between Benson Henderson and Anthony Pettis. If you're listening to me or if you're watching
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go and watch that one. Equally as compelling for completely different reasons. That one also, I think, will really kind of knock your socks off.
I agree.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. But both of these two guys, Anthony Pettis and Gil Melendez.
Dude, I cannot wait till this Saturday.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, even the undercard fights, the prelim fights, the fight pass fight, the pay-per-view fights. You got Dominic Cruz main event at the prelims.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Kent Zingano coming back against Amanda Nunes. The main event. I suck saying that the main event is probably like the fourth most anticipated fight I want to see.
But Demetrius Johnson has that magic, man. He's one of those guys.
I agree, but it's like I want to see. First off, on my list is Cerrone Alvarez, McGregor Poirier, Tim Kennedy, Yoel Romero.
That's a great one. I'm very psyched about that, too.
DJ against Carriazo, and then Zingano Nunes.
I think I want to
fit, by the way. It's like up there as well.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait till Saturday. Can't wait till Sunday so we can talk about it.
That's right. Yep. We're going to be back. Covering UFC 178 Sunday. At 6 o'clock is our time, I believe.
I'll figure it out. I'm going to be late. Maybe, hopefully, like 9 or 10. I don't know.
We should have Root Beer Daria Baronato back. Maybe even a call in from Alexis. Who knows?
Yeah, whoever wants to call in. We do take calls, you know.
We got to start putting out the number on a more regular basis.
I know.
So, all right, I think we even ran out the music there. I think we just worked out the theme song there.
But hey, where can we find you, J-Tan?
You can find me all over your social media. JTAN716, Facebook, Instagram, and that Twitter thing. What about you, Georgie boy?
What about me?
What about you, Horge?
I'm going to be on Twitter, @GHermoza. I got a birthday coming up in July. You can find me on Instagram.
Wait, the next July?
Well, yeah. I mean,
the upcoming July, right?
I like to say, like, okay, first off, my birthday's coming up.
So is mine, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we're gonna skip it. So you can find me on Instagram as well @GHermoza. You can,
and our Amazon wish list as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can watch other shows on AfterBuzz TV. You can find me on The League.
Right.
Shout out to my girls, Jen DeJew and Lauren Leonelli.
Nice.
I love you.
Oh.
I think we got another girl coming on soon.
Okay.
They're all so hot, to be honest with you. I love them all. Not the girls. The girls on this show are hot too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. The problem is they can kick ass, so we can't hit on them nearly as much. Well, they usually are, except for today.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it.
we're getting the looks from the production monkey going, "Hey guys, come on! I want to get out of here."
Sorry.
So we'll be back a week from today talking about Ultimate Fighter, Carla Esparza, and Angela Hill. Tune in next week. And George is going to be here playing with the electric tennis racket. That one actually hurt.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.